What's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of the Meathead podcast. Meathead is a very affectionate term that we bodybuilders use to call each other. I call it the M word, M, not N. And I want to introduce our esteemed panel for the live premiere. Big Mike Cox is going to be my anchor man every Wednesday night. He's cleared his schedule. We also have joining us Austrian Powers, actual name Leo Mayrhofer. You can check him out on the Overcome podcast. Excellent podcast series on YouTube. He was also the guy that turned Urs Kalecinski PRO. We'll talk about that. On the left-hand corner here, the youngest member of the panel, I believe. They had to have somebody under 50. Please welcome Keone Jardine from, as you know him better as EPzeronine. And I saved the best for last, all the way from Australia, the legendary Unfiltered. In fact, he's got a great channel called Lee Priest Unfiltered you can check out. Lee Priest. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for
say Lee Priest. Lee Priest, the cunt.
The cunt. Yeah, I suggested a drinking game, but I don't want my viewers to get too hammered. Every time Lee says cunt, you would take a drink, or you could take a puff off your vape or something. I don't know, whatever you want. You can do that if you want, but there's no pressure.
Snort a line, inject a bit of heroin. We don't judge. We don't judge.
Yeah, we don't judge. So we have a couple of big topics to get through today. Obviously, the talk of the bodybuilding world, based on what happened last weekend right now, is the Miracle Bear, Urs Kalecinski. And I have to say, I'm eating some crow because I had a lot of doubts that he was going to perform as well as he did as an open competitor. In fact, in our group chats, I even said it would be a miracle if he was in shape at 260 pounds, because this is the last time we saw him on stage before that. 2024 Olympia, 227, which to me, he doesn't even look that heavy. Smaller guy in terms of the classic physique competitors. A lot of the guys had mass on him, but he had amazing shape, condition, presentation. And then this version of Urs comes out in Italy just Saturday looking like a different person. I call it 2.0, but I guess I'll go around the room here. We'll start with Lee. We'll give you the first crack at it. Were you surprised he looked as good as he did in his debut as an open bodybuilder?
Not really, because I've been saying, I know they put up a video of Jay Cutler saying stuff, but I've been saying for the last few years, get rid of classic, get rid of 212. It just holds people back. And when we all start bodybuilding, we all started at like men's physique looking, then we looked like classic, and then we grew into open bodybuilders. And I think a lot of these guys just hold themselves back. And I see some comments, a classic guy won the open. Newsflash, he's not classic anymore. If he went in looking like he did in classic, he wouldn't have won the show. So he's an open bodybuilder now. And a lot of those guys are just, like I said, hold himself back. We know they started all these classes to make a bit more money, hand out more pro cards. But back in the day, when you had to wait your turn or pay your dues, you'd wait in line. One or two will get a pro card. Everyone else had another 4 year of training. Come another 4 year, the best of the best would get to the top. But sadly, like most things in life, everybody thinks they need a trophy. Everyone gets an award. Everyone gets a pro card. When half the people getting pro cards shouldn't have them to begin with. And the ones that do get them and can succeed will succeed. Like, look at the 212. Look at the Olympia, Derek Hardy. Most of the 212 guys. I think Flex Lewis held himself back doing the 212 for that many years. So I reckon dump the other classes and the cream of the crop will rise to the top. And, when I was competing, the lineups back then, because I even hate when they say a second tier pro, a third tier pro. Back then, you look at the Olympia lineup, the top 10 are all like first tier pros, because the best of the best were the only ones to get pro cards. It was the best of the best that turned pro. Now, every time Dick and Harry gets a pro card, and they actually have to tell you they're a pro because they look that fucking shit.
Kenton, you did some previews and so forth. Did you see this coming? Did you think he had a chance of winning the show?
Look, Ron, there's always a chance, but I thought it was a very slim chance. There were very, very few individuals out there that had Urs picked to win this show. And I think that's rightfully so when you really look at, the history of individuals coming from another division and making their pro debut, especially in the open. This is an unprecedented situation. There is no doubt about it that Urs Kalecinski just made bodybuilding history by coming in and doing this. I mean, for him to win his pro debut in the Open is, like I said, absolutely unprecedented. I did not expect him to look this comparable from a size standpoint, is really what it came down to for me. I was not expecting him to be as conditioned as well, especially through the lower body in the back shots. Although I shouldn't be surprised because that was one of his calling cards when it came to, anytime we've seen him walk onto a bodybuilding stage. But this is something different. For him to compare so well with some of these guys, I mean, he has the height, he has the size, especially in the arms. The arms exploded for Urs Kalecinski. He has the balance from top to bottom, which is something that he was missing because he had to diet down for Classic. One of the other things that set him apart in this lineup was the sweep of the quads. He has those round quads. That insertion into the hip really does make him look like a standout when it came to this lineup in particular, because these guys all had great legs when it came to, especially Quint Beastwood. I think his legs actually did come up in size than what we've seen in the past. But the other guys, Quint Beastwood, Mark Hector, even Sergio probably second best quads from the front, but Urs really has those round quads, and that's something that really set him apart for me. So when you combine the fact that he showed up with the increased size, he held that conditioning very well, very comparable to everybody else, and he had that balance from top to bottom, that is what put Urs Kalecinski in the winner's circle at the Pro Muscle.
Fair enough. Now, Leo Mayrhofer, we have to turn to you because you were the guy that you corrected me. You weren't his first coach, but you came along very shortly after his first coach, and you're the one that turned him pro and took him into his first pro show. So I guess the first question is when you met him, did you know he had this kind of potential?
Oh, good question. I remember when we turned pro, he said we're going to be the Neil Hill and the Flex Lewis from Germany, which didn't turn out to be. But so, yeah, I saw his lines and his potential in terms of shape, but you never know how big a guy can grow. But I said on a German podcast that he would win the show because I knew what he looked like last year when he posed with Guy Cisternino in New Jersey when he was off season, but he weighed like 108-9 kilos. And now he was 10 kilos more. And he showed me a little bit of his shape beforehand. So I was saying the guy looks like, from his attributes, like a Jordan Hutchinson and more aesthetic. He has the same kind of strengths and weaknesses. The back is a little, weaker than the rest. But overall, he has really good flow and symmetry, just like Jordan Hutchinson. Jordan Hutchinson won 2 shows against all those guys. So I'm like, Urs is more aesthetic, and he's big enough. I knew that. So I was like, he's going to win. Quinton second, Hector third. I said that. But then I said Tim Budesheim, which that was not the right pick. So,
but don't feel bad. I had him in all my graphics, like as one of the top. I expected Tim in the top 5, and clearly I was way off.
Yeah, I think it's because he had this hernia surgery and he couldn't keep his stomach in, right? So I think that was one of the reasons. But yeah, so I think the placings were very fair. Maybe you could make an argument for Louis Breed being a little higher. But yeah, I think Urs can also repeat this because he wants to come a little tighter next weekend, which is, I think, the right strategy because everyone else will also try to come a little tighter. So, and I know he's someone like he's actually doing what the coach says, and he's doing what's needed to change his body in the direction he wants to change it. And there's so many pros that don't listen to their coaches and that, do stupid things. And that's why you don't see the changes in a lot of pros that they kind of want to do, but they don't. I think a lot of pros are way too talented. And there's a bunch of amateurs that work way harder. And when you see a talented guy like Urs working that hard and being that professional, the guy has an $8,000 mattress. Like he has a recovery section in his own gym with all kinds of stuff. Wow. So he's a pro in other sports, what the pros are doing, like in let's say like road cycling, where they have to use everything they can because they can't just, dope and wish for the best. I mean, they can dope to a certain degree, but they can't just like double everything, so they have to use everything they got. And Urs is doing that as well. So I think, I don't know if his back can ever be good enough to win an Olympia.
Oh, no.
That would be the question, but I think he's going to do. I'm very excited for him. Like,
hold on. Why do you say that? Because he's only, what is he, 26, 27?
Yeah. But
Why
I
do
mean,
you,
I say that because he's trying to bring up his back since, day one.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's possible. I don't know, the insertions of his lower lats, if you can put on that muscle there. Some people just, they don't have the muscle fiber count there maybe, or whatever it is. And you can't just double your muscle fibers. I mean, I hope you can. I don't know if hyperplasia works. For me, it doesn't so far.
My triceps sucked ass no matter what I did. Mike, I'll let you start with the next question because we were doubting this guy, but clearly he did very well. But now we have people saying he can do as well as top 6, top 5 at the Olympia. And, we're sitting there shaking our heads because it's a very crowded. Geez, we already got Samson, Derek, Hottie, Nick, Martin, Andrew, Bonac, Curry, Akeem. I mean, there's a lot of guys that I don't think he's going to get past right now. But realistically, Mike, where do you see him landing at the Olympia, assuming he's even a little tighter than he was at the Italy show?
Listen, we all love shiny new toys, right? When we get a new toy for Christmas, we love playing with it. It's our favorite thing that day. But as time goes on, we move on to other things. He's got a beautiful physique, but you name some heavy hitters, bro. This isn't the Germany show. You got Hottie, Derek, Samson, all the guys you named.
Yeah.
Top 10 would be a very good accomplishment. But I think people nowadays look at top 10 and think, oh, he sucks. Top 10 is Mr. Olympia. You're the top 10 best bodybuilder in the world. But fans now kind of see it as a failure or not a success when it actually is. So if Urs can hit that top 10 against some of those guys you just named off, bro, that's a hell of a accomplishment for your first Olympia, and from going from a classic dude to an open guy and beating some of the best in the world. He can do it. I feel he can be top 10.
All right. Lee Priest, where does he place?
Somewhere between 8th and 10th.
Okay.
That's going to depend on how the others come in too, and no one still knows if what's his name is getting his card. Yeah, Beirut.
Yeah.
I mean that's a whole other issue, but I don't see him getting here. I mean, I don't think that.
Uzi's good, but I'd say I'd probably give him 7th to 10th, somewhere there. Only if some of the other big names slip up a bit.
Yeah, and I mean, give him like another really solid off season. Do you think he has top 5, top 6 Olympia potential?
Potentially, yes, but I don't know if you'll do that in another year or so, because if Hardy and them are still around and some of those guys, but if some of those retire now, but I'd say another 12 to 16 months, maybe not next year, the following year, you might see him in the Arnold Classic, something like that, like even with Keon going open in Prague, I'm hoping Keon puts his name down for the Arnold Classic next year.
Well, Goku, Lee's him being quiet. I'm just giving everyone a chance to talk. That's all. Speaking of which, Kenson, where do you have Urs placing at the 2025 Mr. Olympia?
Look, Ron, I don't want to count the guy out again, not by any stretch. But we're talking about the Open Mr. Olympia, okay?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty safe to say that there's a lock on the top 4 right now, right? So if we go down the list, like you said, we've got Samson, we've got Derek, we've got Hottie, and we've got Nick. After that, that's one of the things about this 2025 Olympia that I do want to say. Like from 5th place to, you can almost go down to 10th place, right? Very difficult to find out who's going to make it in that top, like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th spot. you've got a lot of guys that can mix up in there. You've got Tonio, you've got William Bonac. I mean, I've seen people putting good Vito in that conversation. Nexzilla, a lot of people forget about Nexzilla, right? 1-2 pro
I
shows
keep
this year
forgetting
as
about
well,
it.
right?
So, I apologize, everybody who I always forget about Rubio. My bad, but go ahead. Sorry.
Well, and you see, this is just it, right? So when you consider the entire playing field when it comes to that top 10, and then you see a guy like Urs, who did come in and do very well in this show, I still don't think it's going to be enough for him to come in and make the top 10 in this one. I think he'll be right in around that area to compare for top 10, but my guess is going to be between 10th and 12th is probably realistic for him in this show. I mean, look at Jordan Hutchinson. I know that Jordan was already mentioned, but I mean, this guy is massive and he is ripped and he is ready. And he's been ready when it comes to the Open, right?
Yeah.
Urs needs another season or two, and then he's going to be in that conversation when it comes to, let's say, between, given what the playing field could be in the next couple of years, maybe anywhere from 5th place to 8th place. I think is fair to say right now. Could he overachieve beyond that? Absolutely possible, right? But as of right now, when it comes to the 2025 Olympia, between 10th and 12th, I think would be a massive, massive accomplishment in a very competitive Olympia lineup. One of the more competitive Olympia lineups that we've seen in quite some time. Because like you said, Mike, top 10 is a huge accomplishment, but especially in this crop of individuals. Because usually when it comes to the Olympia, you make the first call out and everybody remembers where you placed. But even if you go back in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years previous, not everybody remembers anybody that places below that. I don't think that's going to be the case when it comes to the top 10 at this year's Olympia. But for Urs, 10th to 12th.
Okay. Leo, and I forgot to mention, Leo is a classic physique pro himself, guys. But Dave Thomas brings up an interesting point here. And as his former coach, and as someone who is a very well, you have a lot of clients right now. This guy says if his coach, which is Stefan Kienzel Basvala, has got his back, he'll advise him against competing in the Olympia. So if you were still coaching him, Leo, would you encourage him to do the Olympia? He's qualified, or would you say let's hold off a year and come back and really make an impact?
Nah, I would tell him to do it. You never know what's going to happen. Like if he gets like, I don't know, hit by a car, like you want to do the Olympia. And it's not like it's like a year away, and you were like, it's just like those 4 weeks of progress. I mean, if that's going to hold him back so much, I don't think so. And also, I wanted to mention there's still Brenton Curry and Regan Grimes as well, who can make top 10. So the top 10 is really, really deep.
We keep forgetting about Brett Wilkins. That's another guy because he always qualifies like way early.
Absolutely.
And then I forget all about him by the time the show's coming around.
Yeah, Sasan is always in shape.
So
they really like it. Just depends on like how many guys are out of shape. I think Urs will be in better shape than this weekend. So I'm pretty sure he'll bring it. But then it's just a question how many other guys are going to bring it. If everyone brings it, I don't think he makes top 10. If some people slip, he could.
Mike, where do you have
Andrew Jack as well. I don't think we mentioned that name. I got to throw that one in there, right?
Yeah, he can't even be off. He would beat him probably.
Yeah, Andrew at 85% beats almost everybody anywhere.
Yeah,
exactly.
Mike, how does he do this year?
You know what, dude? There's no more like paying your dues. There's no more got to wait your turn anymore. The judges notice you now. There's no more of that funny business going on with the judges like it was back when Lee was competing. So if you're in shape, they're going to find you. They found Martin last year, right? Nobody's really talking about Martin, but all of a sudden he shows up full, shredded hard, and I thought he was pushing Derek. But again, you just don't know how he's going to look next to those other guys. It's just those pictures look phenomenal. He looks great with next to those guys. But those guys at the Olympia are shape monsters, man. Like you got some really shapely dudes that are coming good. People forget Akeem is no joke, bro. And Bonac is still good. Brandon's even better. So I would say the 10th to 13th is an accomplishment, bro. But he's not a top 6 guy just yet. And again, as far as his back, Nasser never got a back. Nasser trained his ass off
It's true.
Never to be able to get it back. So those insertions have a big role in what you can do with your body.
Okay. Next question about Urs is, some people are upset, not the Germans. The Germans aren't upset that he's doing the show in Offenbach, the Europa Pro, but a lot of other people say he's already got the qualification. Quentin Uria has been trying. He got second in Tampa, third in Texas. He just got second here. Give the guy a break. Don't do the show, Urs. Lee Priest, would you be compassionate and say, no, I'll skip the show. I'll let somebody else qualify, or would you do it?
Of course you got to do it. It's another win. If you get a win, it's another paycheck, even though the paycheck isn't great. But I do think, because this would be Quinton's, fourth or fifth show?
Yeah.
That he's probably going to get runner-up in. So just out of thing now. Yes, they're going to start new rules next year for other classes. If Urs wins and Quinton's second, just let him fucking go to the Olympia. Come on.
Yeah. I agree. Jensen, should he just let Quentin qualify and sit out the show?
Let me say this in extremely uncertain terms. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, if Quentin can't beat him in Germany, then Quentin does not deserve to go to the Olympia. I don't care how many shows he's done this year. I don't care how much better he's gotten from show to show. This is the Olympia. We have to maintain the highest standard. And look, this is also these guys' livelihood, okay? Urs is trying to make money. Why would he not go in front of his hometown where he has his main sponsors and he can probably make a ridiculous amount of money? You're not going to pass that up to be a nice guy. Absolutely not. He can beat him again, and he probably will beat him again. So he should. Do the shows that you want to do, because for years we spent time complaining about competitors never showing up on more than one stage. You get your qualification, and then you go hide, make some Instagram posts every so often before the Olympia, and that's the only time we see them. We don't have that problem anymore. These guys compete multiple times throughout the year, right? And this is one of the first years where we've seen that happen. Saw it a little bit in 2024. It has been substantially more in 2025. And that is good for the sport. So no, Urs should not give anybody a break, nor do I think any competitor should give anybody a break. If you want to be the best, show up at your best, and then you can make it to the Olympia. Because, I mean, if he's not going to beat him in Germany and he's not going to beat him in Italy, he's not going to beat him on the Olympia stage either.
Correct. Leo, same question, but first of all, are you Austrian or German? Because sometimes I wonder if the Austrian power is just a cool nickname, or you're actually Austrian.
I have both citizenships.
Okay.
I have one Austrian parent, my dad, and my mom's German.
Okay, so
So
you're
all
biracial.
But when I get my American passport, I think I'll have to give up the Austrian one.
Yeah.
So,
And you have zero accent. That is the best English. You speak better English than most Americans. It's ridiculous. You know?
yeah, see, so they can let me become a citizen then. That's
Yeah,
great.
cool. So yeah, I mean, it's to you it must seem like ludicrous that people are suggesting he should
Yeah.
sit out the German show.
I mean, if you have the chance of a home game like that you're also probably going to win. When people are going nuts, like the day he announced to do that show, they sold out like all the tickets up to like, I don't know, 10 left or something.
Wow.
Like the guy fills the whole stadium by himself.
Jeez.
I think it's kind of somewhat of a stadium. I think it's not a stadium, but it's like what's it called? Like a theater or something. A pretty
Theater.
big one. Yeah, I think pretty big theater.
Maybe it's an amphitheater. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool.
Yeah, so like no way you can sit that one out, and the Germans would hate him for it. Like they're coming to see him, and he wouldn't show up. Nah, that's like, and it's so cool because there's like 13 Germans in the Open, so it's like a German like national pro championship, and the Germans are always like, who's the best German? And Roman Fritz is going to do it again. That's going to be interesting. He had so many injuries, but he's very balanced actually. So that would be interesting because he was the last German to qualify for the Olympia. I think 2 years ago. He has his third hip surgery, and his legs are still going to be the biggest on stage. I don't know what's going on. Like that tells you about genetics. The guy is relentless. I wish him the best. I hope he can really bring a great package. I'm certain he's going to be shredded.
Yeah.
But I don't know how big he's going to look next to the other guys.
Mike, I'll start the next question off with you. Is this pretty much a guaranteed win for Urs? because the only people in the lineup for the German show in Offenbach that were not in Italy are Edward Cargbo, Ali Edward Cargbo from, I think it's Dubai, Roman Fritz from Germany, and Morgan McDonald from Canada.
And
Everyone else,
Adolf Burkhardt.
okay, and Adolf. But he's beaten everybody else that's competing. Yeah, Mike, is this a slam dunk, 2 for 2?
It's as close to a slam dunk as you can get. Listen, anything can happen, but I highly doubt anything funny is going to happen. There's going to be no like Tokyo incident. So I'm pretty sure he's going to win this show. But again, why wouldn't you do it? You'd have to be soft not to do this and care about what other people's feelings are. I mean, this is your livelihood. You got to pay bills to pay. You know what I mean? Just suck it up. If you don't want him to win, beat him. Like, it's not rocket science. It's just soft people say that, non-competitive people say things like that, right? To make an excuse for losing. But no, go ahead and make that money. He's going to win, and he'd get even better as the weeks come to Olympia. Take that money from everybody.
Lee, does anyone stand a chance against the Miracle Bear, or could Quint? I want to just give the obvious name. Does Quint have a chance?
Well, I actually think, as good as Urs is, I think Quint, if he can get the fullness and the conditioning spot on, and I mean spot on 100%, I think he could push him and maybe edge him. But like I said, that's getting at 100%, and sometimes you rarely always come in a bit flat or just that little bit of film or water. But if he hit it perfect, he'd probably be the one that could possibly do it.
Kenson, same question.
Yes.
Oh, so the question was,
Sorry.
does Quint have a chance of getting past him this weekend?
Sure, he's got a chance, but I think Urs would have to show up off, I mean, we won't kid ourselves the fact that Urs is going into a hometown crowd with, I actually just looked it up. This particular part of the venue can hold over 2,000 people, right? That is a lot of screaming fans for one person. You think that doesn't have an influence when it comes to the judges? I do think that Urs is going to show up just a little bit better. This is the 4th show for Quint Beastwood as well. The 4th show that he's done this season. And in between show 2 and 3, training for 2.5 weeks with the current Mr. Olympia champion, Samson Dauda, training in a manner that he has never trained in before, being pushed harder than he has ever been pushed, and reaching heights in his physique that he has never reached before. Eventually, it's going to come to a point where you're going to start getting tired and your physique is going to look tired. Do I think he still has one more in the tank? Yeah, I do. But do I think that it will be enough for him to improve to beat this new version of Urs Kalecinski on his 2nd show of the season, already showing up in shape? I don't think so.
Yeah. Leo, what do you think? Because Quint, this is a good. This is his 4th show in, I think it's 6 weeks, 7 weeks. It's his 4th show in a few weeks. Put it that way. And I still think his best look so far was Tampa. I didn't see improvements in fullness and condition in Italy, but stranger things have happened, and you're a prep coach. So what do you think the odds are of Quint looking way better than we've seen him so far this season and beating Urs?
I mean, there's obviously a chance. I don't think it's a big one, but it's not impossible. I don't know who is judging, if it's other judges than before. I think who I'm interested in seeing, it's not going to win, but a classic guy that moved up. At first he did 212, then classic, then I think 212 and now open is Dominic Voivod. I send you the link in the private chat. He's always coming ripped, and he's very aesthetic. So I think his aestheticism could play into his favor here. Also, Matthias Holbeck, I think, looked really good last show. The guy who came in 6th here on the right next to Theo Laguerriere. He had, I think, the best back shot if you look at the upper body. And Louis Breed can move up, which I already mentioned. So, but so someone else winning, I don't really see it, because I'm also certain that Urs is going to come in better. And if Urs comes in better, they'll be like we can't give it to someone else right now. So that's what I think is going to happen.
Fair enough.
I will mention just one thing. I was told by AJ Kelly Robert that the same head judge from the Italy show will be the same head judge at the Germany show.
I think that was Jack Sullivan, right?
Yeah.
That's ringing a bell, I think, yeah.
Do you find it odd that people want to know who the head judge is going to be? I mean, they should all be very highly qualified judges and impartial and great at what they do. It shouldn't matter. You shouldn't, like, I've heard competitors pick shows based on who they knew was going to be the head judge.
I do that.
You do that. Now, why?
I mean, I think for me it's a little different because the smaller classic shows, there's some lesser experienced pro judges. And then I just picked because I wanted to just know where I am. I knew I'm not going to win, but I picked Pittsburgh and New York to be judged by Tyler and Steve, to just like know like where I'm really at, and not, you know, some judge that all of a sudden that homeboy with the love handles is going to be winning. You know?
Homeboy with the love handle. I want to bring up something that Lee brought up in one of my lives, which was the prize money. So Urs, he got $10,000, which I thought the minimum was 15. I thought you had to get 15 for an open show. That was like a requirement for the promoters. But Lee said, you know, he's looking at the fifth place guy, Louis Breed, gets $1,000. What does $1,000 pay for in bodybuilding? His idea was, you said, Lee, why not give the winner $20,000 and that's it? Nobody else gets any money. Do you still think that's the way to go in a situation like that?
In those smaller shows, yes, because to me, giving a guy $1,000, okay, get a little bit of money is good, but come on, $1,000 is just a slap in the face. You may as well give it to the winner. That way, if I know the winner's the only one getting the money in a small show, like.
Oh, he's gone. Yeah. But I mean, hopefully he comes back in a second. Well, there you are. Yeah, we lost you for just a second.
A phone call, come on. Yeah, I'd be busting my ass to come in the best shape I can if I know it's just the winner getting the money, because, like I said, getting a little bit of money is fine, but $1,000 or so, come on, it doesn't mean anything. It wouldn't even cover your probably food the time you're over there overseas. So yeah, just give it to the winner, then let them fight it out then. You know, the bigger shows, yes, you can break the money down, but the small shows where it's just 10 grand or so, just give the winner 15 or 20 and the rest get their little trophy and a certificate. That big check they got given was probably worth more than $1,000.
Yeah. Wait, well, I'll leave this. I'll let Kenton answer me this, though. I'll let you ask. There's like a 1 point difference between the winner and second place. And in the situation, the winner gets $20,000. And it was let's say it was a controversial call. A lot of people had the second place guy winning. Would you be cool with the second place guy walking away with nothing in a scenario like that?
Nah, I don't think I would be, actually. I don't think so. I agree that $1,000 is not really, anything substantial. I don't know if it's necessarily an insult, but I do think that it's well below what competitors should be making when it comes to these pro shows these days. I would go back to the original question that you asked, Ron, as to why the payout was not at the $15,000 mark. That should be the minimum now, right? Perhaps there should be minimums for the top.
When was that implemented, these 15K? I never heard about it. I thought it was 10.
It's been 10 for 20, 25 years, 30 years. 10, we called them, because I remember when Darren Charles was winning shows, and that was 20 some odd years ago. He was the king of $10,000 shows. Lee, do you remember? Am I on crack when I say they said 15,000 had to be the minimum?
I thought they did. I thought it had gone up from 10, but, I think, like I said, even back in the 90s, it was 10. So if the sport's growing, I think the IFBB should set it, at least to me, 15's a bit low still. Even the smaller shows should be a minimum of 20. If you can't put up 20, don't put the show on. So, but like I said, a lot of the guys, that's what I said, giving them $1,000. Anyone that's got into bodybuilding, generally, you're not getting in it for the money, trust me. So, unless there's influencers making more, those fucking young kids who talk bro science bullshit are making more than some of the pro bodybuilders on stage just from the YouTube station. So we didn't get into this sport for money. So if I didn't get $5,000 for second or $1,000 for fifth, I wouldn't give a shit, because, you're going there to be your best and be the best. So the money was never the thing. But if you can't put up at least $20,000, then don't put the show on.
Sure. So Xavier, thanks for being here, Xavier, from Xavier Wills from Australia, good friend of Lee's. He's explained that they lost one of their sponsors, and that's why they did intend to give 15,000, but I guess they had to drop the money down, so that explains it. But still, I would imagine in a case like that, the IPB Pro League would be like, "F you, pay me." You got to come up with the money regardless. It's not a problem.
The IPB should have dipped into their little account and pulled $5,000 out. Not they don't have it.
Yeah, I think the backpedaling's even worse. That's even worse. The fact that they were giving it away and now they go back. I mean, wow, what is the sport going backwards now? You've got a lot of other shows that are giving away more money above that $15,000 minimum that took place last year, and now it's going back down. Especially when it comes, I'd be interested to see what Germany's going to give away. Just as a side note, because like I said, that's going to be over two.
It's not easy for the promoters. The promoters have to pay for the divisions. Like, I don't know, an Open Pro show, the promoter has to pay $20,000 or something like that just to get like the signature to be able to do it. And then for other pro divisions, they also have to pay. That's why there are more classic and bikini shows, because they're cheaper. Yeah. And then you have the minimum payout, and then you have to find sponsors for that. So it's really not easy for a promoter to find the money. And I don't know, the IFBB could maybe do a better job and maybe charge them less or something like that. Charge them the same, but give a part of that, because all they get is they have to do is a signature. They just check it off. They get 20K. So they could be like, give me 20K, I give 10 back to the competitors or something. Still, they haven't done anything. They got 10K. I don't know how many people the IFBB employs and how many people they have to pay, but I don't know.
Not many.
$5,000 shouldn't be make or break either, right? We're talking $5,000, even to just keep it at that minimum that they had before. Surely they come up with the $5,000 and at least to keep that minimum standard, and then find the sponsor next year, right?
I want to change topic. Somebody brought up Sergio Oliva Jr. I wasn't planning on talking about him. I think it's fair to include him in this first podcast because he did pretty well. I mean, fourth place isn't awful, but a lot of people are giving up on him. You know, they're tired of waiting for him to make things happen. The guy's 41, 42. I know he's over 40 at this point. I think he's 41. I don't like to write anybody off. I like to say, you know, maybe they can still get together. I have seen people do that, but I'll go around the room. What do you guys? Who wants to go first?
If he keeps getting better at the same rate, he's going to be great very soon. Like if you compare that to Thibaut, that was a huge jump. So if you look at the progress he made, it's great. The progress in placings wasn't there, but the show was also better. So he's obviously disappointed, but I think he did a good job. I don't know if he could have placed higher in this lineup, but he definitely, improved a lot. So the trajectory is actually really good. I just think he's going to beat himself up mentally because he's very, very, placing oriented.
Do you find it odd that he didn't do the Germany show? I mean, he's already over there in Europe. It was only another week.
Yeah, he's probably frustrated. I can't tell.
Listen, Father Time is undefeated, as they say. It's getting to that point where we don't want to write somebody off, but we know as we age, things don't work the same. The body doesn't feel the same. The injuries pile up. And when you're competing at a high level, it's very hard on your body. So you can't write them off, but it's not looking that good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another thing to point out, he made this post a couple days ago, and it almost seemed like he was blaming Boss of Outlaw, Stefan Kienzl, for not looking his best. He said, this is how he looked 4 hours before judging. He claims he fucked up his entire prep in those 4 hours. He says he sent these pics to my coach, which is Stefan. Still need to prove, but eating more food in my stomach was not the move. I completely blew out my stomach. So he doesn't go out. He doesn't directly say Stefan Kienzl told me to eat more food, and that's why I look bad. But I think it's, if you read between the lines there, that's what he's saying. Anybody, I'm not even going to call.
Are you starting the shit, Ron?
Well, I mean, am I manufacturing? Am I seeing things here?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what people think when, after a show, you're always going to have that disappointment. So I always recommend that, no matter what you're doing, if you don't win or you don't do anything, stay off social media to get your thoughts straight. So, we all come out with stuff when in the heat of the moment. So, but, even like Leo was saying, I think that's the best is look for a while. So if he keeps going, like I said, you don't want to write someone off because we've done that before. Then they come out of nowhere and you're like, what the shit? I remember people wrote Bonac off there for a while saying his legs were down. He's not going to look good. People wrote Dexter off there for a while, and Dexter come back and started winning shows again. So I wouldn't write him off just yet.
Okay. I should note he did say at the very end of that post, it's on me as a pro to know my body. I've been doing this long enough. So he is taking a responsibility. He's not really blaming Stefan as I might have made it seem.
But it sounds like he's saying I should have done what I think, not what he said.
Yeah. But I mean, had he been, so we can't really compare the lighting here to what we're seeing on. This is that beautiful.
That's actually another good point too. If he was thinking that's another thing when you got a coach, you should always, if in his mind he's thinking this isn't something he normally does or he's not comfortable, he should talk to Stefan and say, hey, I don't feel comfortable doing this. I've done it before. It hasn't worked. And maybe have discussions, because there are some people who just do what their coach says blindly. Then they get mad it didn't work, but in the back of their mind, they got that little voice saying, you shouldn't be doing this. So it's always good if you do have a coach and you feel like it's not working or not going to work, have a discussion with your coach at least so you can shoot ideas off each other.
Yeah. I mean,
the other thing is with Sergio is, I mean, look, this guy has been doing it for a while, quite some time. But when do we ever see him place outside of the top four? Like, this is the 4th place finish. Typically, we see this guy place within the top 3 at every show that he does. Yeah. He's always in the first call out. That is not a competitor that should consider retirement just because he's not meeting the expectations that are placed on his shoulders by the fans of bodybuilding because of who his father is. Let's be real about this, He's placing top 3 in pretty much every show that he does. He should keep competing. And Leo, I actually agree with you. I think that if he's on this upward trajectory, although it's not as fast as what everybody would like, and it's certainly not as fast as what Sergio would like, there's no question there, he should keep going. He should definitely keep going.
Yeah, I mean, he is getting older. He's not. We see guys. There are guys his age or older. I mean, Andrew Jack is around 40. He's close to it. Samson's almost 40 now. Bonac's over 40. Curry's over 40. So it's really not the age thing, but it's just like, when's it going to happen? I mean, after a while, it just you get tired of waiting for someone to. I don't know. I think we're projecting our own expectations onto him, and like you said, it's because of who his dad was. If his name was Sergio Smith, I don't think we'd expect anywhere near as much from this guy.
I'm not sure exactly on the past years. I mean, he won the New York Pro in 17 or something, and then he didn't win anymore. But I think he had a long break where he didn't really train and all kinds of stuff happening in his life. It's not like he's been being like super professional, eating every meal in the book, going to every session for years and years and years, and then he doesn't succeed. So it, like, when you look at what he put in, from what I think to know, correct me if I'm wrong, then that's also different, because now he seemed to be really dialing it in, and he made super crazy progress in a short time. So if he hasn't done it like he's doing it right now, then I mean, no wonder there wasn't that much progress. So I think we should give him a little time, and he should give him a little time and pull through for a year or two, and then if in 2 years and he keeps the same pace and he's not going anywhere, then he can reconsider, I think. But this would be giving up too early when you're on a streak for I don't know, not even a year now.
Yeah, and here's the side-by-sides from FIBO. What was that, April? I think it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tremendous he looks, the posing, he fixed his back double bicep. His back
posing too, yeah.
Yeah, his back looks much better, I think, in the way he hits the shot now. God, his lats even look lower, and that's impossible. They didn't get any lower.
I said at that show, he looked like he wasn't filled out. He needed to grow back his muscle. He hated me for it, but it looks like I was right.
Yeah, I mean, He gets
Look
called
at the pop, man.
he gets called a crybaby and this and that. He makes excuses, but I just think he's someone who's not afraid to show that he's a vulnerable person. He has emotions. He's not some fake tough guy like a lot of these guys portray themselves to be. And he gets shit on for that a lot of times.
I mean,
Yeah, I call it a roller coaster. He's had a roller coaster of a career, right? For better or for worse, whether it's his fault or not, circumstantial or not, he's had a roller coaster of a career. And sometimes competitors end up with careers like that, right? He's not the first one and he won't be the last. But we are still seeing progress. And like you said, Leo, I mean, at this point, it doesn't really have anything to lose when you really look at it like that, right? He's 41. He is continuing to make progress. Why stop now? Stop when you're not making progress anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
Lee,
He's making money too.
got a
As long as
new
you make
dog.
money too, man, keep going. Make as much as you
Good
can
point.
while you can.
He's got a new dog, so he's going to be more relaxed. So I say keep going.
oh, where's the new dog? Now I got to see the dog.
He posted it. I think he got it like a rescue dog.
Is it down? Okay, I got. Lee is a huge. Well, there we go. Lee has. What do you have? Like 5 dogs, Lee?
Cats. Right?
7 cats and 2 dogs at the moment.
Good Lord, God bless you. Oh yeah, look at that little. What kind of dog is that?
Most I had was 12 dogs, 8 cats, 2 rabbits.
Well, that one's going to get big. I
affirm.
think.
Yeah.
And very important here, you got this dog at a shelter. Remember, guys, if you buy your dogs from a breeder or you buy your dogs in general, you're killing a bunch of dogs in shelters that need homes. So.
And Sean Ray made that nice thing about me once when I said I don't have one bodybuilding trophy anymore. I have like a couple for guest posing, but kept my racing trophies. But all my bodybuilding trophies, Arnold Classic medals, Olympia medals, a couple of Olympia medals I buried with my grandfather, but the rest of them, I auctioned them all off and gave all the money to animal shelters and animal charities.
God bless your heart. Yeah. All right. This is so random, but I
There it
remember.
is.
No, I remember. I remember Lee telling me about one race that he did with. It was a Corvette. Him and the guy in a Corvette, and they were using so much gas that he could see the gas needle, the gas gauge moving constantly the whole time, and that just blew my mind. The car can go through that much gasoline. Anyway, let's move on. I want to get past this because the German show is going to be awesome, but I want to make sure we talk about this guy, Keon Pearson, the prodigy. Announced a couple days ago that he was going to do Open at the EVLS Prague show, which is going to be several weeks after the Olympia. So we can presume he's probably going to be. He's already got 2 Olympia titles. Am I right? Anybody?
Yep.
So he'll probably be a 3-time Olympia champion. Nothing to lose by testing the waters in the Open. A lot of us want this guy to go Open, and a lot of the fans want it to happen now. They want him out of the 212. I know, Lee, you don't believe there should be a 212 division, so I know you're definitely an advocate for this guy moving on and going into the Open Olympia stage. So we'll start with you. Do you think he should just leave the 212 for good after he presumably wins this 3rd time?
Yeah, if he wins at his first, which he will, we're going to have to say if. He'd have to, something bad would really have to happen for him not to win. But after he wins it for the 3rd time, yes. Because like I said, Flex Lewis wasted, I'd say wasted, but going back that many times, Flex would have made a great Open. And I think maybe, depending on who was there on the given day, might have won an Open Olympia like Derek and Hardy have done. So, Keon, congratulations on winning the Prague show ahead of time. I don't see anyone really beat him. Unless someone like Samson's been known to do other shows. That's the Samson might decide to go there after the Olympia also, which would be fun to see them both on stage in great shape together. But yeah, I think we're going to see Keon. That'll be his last 212, and this will be his beginning of the Open. And like I said, depending on how he does in this and how he feels, maybe he might put his name down for the Arnold. It's got good money there, and he's definitely a front runner to win the Arnold. I always said a couple of years, but give him another 4-year training or even 2 years. There's your next Mr. Olympia, who could probably reign for a couple of years in a row. That guy.
Lee, before I let you move on to anyone else, you just got offered free breakfast.
I saw that McDonald's. I can't log into my computer right now, into my YouTube, so I couldn't comment back. I go to Mayfield McDonald's because when I'm doing the treadmill, I'm staring straight at McDonald's across the car park. So I train, do cardio, then I go eat McDonald's every morning. So No wonder I'm getting fat. I'm not getting fucking fat.
I would never have known that Macca's is McDonald's unless you told me.
That's abbreviated, Macca's. Macca's.
Oh, we say that too in Germany. That's
Lee,
right.
what Macca's location?
Macca's.
What Macca's location in Newey do you use so that you can be stocked, I suppose?
Mayfield. Where's Jeremy work at? I don't know. Look, Jeremy's saying he wants to give me free Macca's, but he might hate me and spit in my food. So, Jeremy, I don't trust you.
There's one other suggestion for you, Lee, here. Do the Masters Olympia. Will you?
If I didn't have that nerve damage still at the moment where I got the atrophy on one side, I would do it. But at the moment, I don't want to walk on stage and have, one side of me open bodybuilding, the other side of me bikini. So
Because
the way the world's going, I could say I'm Leanne Priest and do that.
you
might start a new division, right?
Well, Lee, what is it? It wasn't even a year ago you got your pro card reinstated, right?
I know. I bet they hated that, didn't they? Because I did it online, so everything's automated. So I would have posted that I got it when they were all asleep. So when they got up and actually saw that I posted I had a pro card, I would have liked to be a fly on the wall then. We got fucking what back? People actually, why did I get it back? Am I going to compete again? Am I going to come out of retirement? Am I going to do this? I said, no. I said, my last suspension was in 2010. So I just got my card back so I can get suspended again. It's been a while.
I mean, I think it'd be harder to get suspended now than it was back in the day.
Hey, you're talking to me, Ron. It ain't hard. Trust me.
Well,
What do you guys think on Ronnie Raquel coming back?
Ronnie Raquel, I saw a couple of pictures of him. He looks good. I thought the photo I saw, his conditioning looks good. But, again, it's photos of someone standing by themselves and the right lighting and shit. I came out of a hotel room 2 weeks ago out of the bathroom and I thought I was ready to step on stage looking in the mirror. But then I got home under my home light and reality hit me. I'm a bag of shit. So, get the right lighting. We can all look like champions.
See, the video I have now is not how he looks currently.
No.
That was 2010 when he took 6th place.
Amazing.
6th place in the Mr. Olympia.
How old is he now? Is he he's close to 50 now, is he too? Or?
He's got to be. He has to be.
53. 53.
Is he 53?
Same as me.
And he's trying to get his pro card back. That's why he's doing these shows now.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was so bad, even worse than Lee. So they wouldn't give it back.
No. So
you want to use my card? I can lend him my pro card.
Well, Leo, you probably have the insight on this. You know what's going on with all the German. Did he not have his pro card anymore because he didn't use it like they said? Or did he
competed he competed in the PCA.
Never do that. Never compete anywhere else. You get in trouble.
Yep.
So that's how Lee got. That was Lee's suspension number 2 of 7, I believe, when you did the PCA.
No, that was earlier on. That was my second last one because it was a year suspension. Of course, I argued the point. They made it 2 years. I went, good, go ahead. I got a longer off season. I don't care. 2010, I got it back, but then I moved back home to Australia, and I'm like, I'm never going to compete again. So I just let it run out. And then John Romano and I had that Shotgun Big Show podcast where we talk about the politics, the good and the bad. I guess we said some stuff they didn't like, and I got a letter from Harris Kagan suspending me for life.
Wow. Well, you're still alive, and you got your pro card back. So
I know. Well, that was it's 4-1-2 when they're all together. Once they split, because you have to remember when I was suspended for life, I couldn't even go to a show. They wouldn't let me in an expo. If I had friends competing in live movie show, they wouldn't let me in. Even Tony Doherty wouldn't let me into the shows. So then when they split, I got a call from Tony saying I was welcome to come back now. I'm like, well, that's nice of you, isn't it?
So you were also fined. How much money in fines did you pay throughout your career?
17,000.
Woo! Jeez. I mean, I haven't heard of anyone getting fined in
ages
since Wayne DeMilia left, right?
That's because they're all pussies. They're too scared to say anything. They all bitch and complain behind closed doors when push comes to shove. Yes, Mr. Mannion. No, Mr. Mannion. Oh, yeah. Kiss ass. How do you think I can do better? Shut the fuck up.
Now you're going to get me in trouble. So one last thing I want to ask about Sergio.
You're done. That's the end of
Why didn't Sergio do the Masters Olympia, I'm thinking? Because it would have been $20,000. I mean, Dorian and Phil were great competitors. Sergio would have walked all over those guys.
And he would have gone to the Olympia.
Yes.
Yeah.
He would have easily won. Sorry, nothing against Dorian, but
No, of course
he would
not.
have easily won.
You're telling me that wouldn't have beat these, these 51 and 42? Well, actually, he's about the same age as Dorian, but he's a guy who's won open shows. He's been second many times. He's been top 5 at the Arnold. He's been to the Olympia.
But then, then the narrative on social media would be like, oh, he had to do a master show to go to the Olympia. And, they're very sensitive now to the comments on social media. So that probably would have been an issue, too. Saying, and what if he didn't win? You forgot for some reason you missed your peak and Dorian beat you. Can you imagine like the hellstorm that would go on social media with that?
I wouldn't want to.
If you let your life be dictated by people you never meet,
They do.
you have a real big problem.
A lot of them do, though.
There's a good phrase. I don't know who came up with it. Probably some drag queen said, "If they ain't paying your bills, don't pay them no mind."
Yeah.
God, he looks so much like his father now. It's crazy.
With the stash, it's crazy.
It's eerie. Well, he played his dad in that movie, the Joe Weider movie, Bigger. Yeah, I think I've gotten in trouble for saying I didn't like that movie. I didn't find that to be a very good movie.
He lives very close to me, but I haven't seen him yet in Vegas.
Oh, you're in Vegas now, Leo.
Yeah, I moved to the new Mecca.
Why'd you leave LA?
Because it's dead. And the Germans took over, and I fled from the Germans once, so I got to escape again.
Shot like Charlie Kirk.
Oh God, I wasn't going to cancel the podcast, but God, that happened like right before this, and I'm like,
when I first saw the video, I thought it was AI at first. Someone sent it to me. I'm like, oh, that's funny. I thought it was AI because they showed me the actual video and the blood spurting out. Then he slumped over. It just looked like an AI. They're like, oh no, that's real. I said, fuck, is it? Then I looked online. Saw it was actually real.
Yeah, and he was 31 years old, which is the same age as my daughter. It's so young.
Two young kids, married 4 years. Yeah.
Oh, awful. I want to get back to Keon just for a minute because I didn't really talk about him much, and he's in the thumbnail, so I feel like I need to. Do you feel, whoever wants to talk first, a lot of us, I feel he can be Mr. Olympia, Open Mr. Olympia, just like Hadi became, just like Derek. I mean, I think so, but I think it's going to be another 2 or 3 years. What do you guys think as far as a timeline?
Good question. So, first of all, I said on the podcast with Steve Weinberger that he's going to do Prague in May.
Huh.
And he's doing Prague. So kudos to myself. I think he's going to do it next year, man. If he wins Prague and everyone's like, do it. Don't waste your time. You can't get third. You earn more money. You earn more, also, just appearance, media, attention. People don't care about the 212 really. I got to say, not really. Of course, it's not unimportant, but I don't how many people are going to buy a ticket for the 212 Olympia?
And winning Prague would qualify him for the Olympia, wouldn't it? So
yeah, next year. And also, poor Krizo. Me and Mike Cox have been arguing about this. Mike says a good big man is always going to beat a good smaller man. Did I mess that up? Krizo's perfect. Krizo's a good big bodybuilder. I don't consider him to be great at this point in his career. I personally think Keon would beat him pretty easily.
Oh yeah, dude. I did the New York Pro. I was at Bev's gym and I was posing, and Krizo came in to pose with Steve, and I posed with Krizo a bit, and dude, he did everything wrong, and Steve was like, "You post like shit." He was so honest. He's like. What's wrong with you? Can't you pose at your gym? He's like, I only have one mirror, so I can see myself from the back. I'm like, really? So you can't buy another mirror?
They have Home Depot over in Czech Republic or Slovakia.
Come on,
$10.
Yeah.
Is Vito doing the Olympia? Is good Vito in the Olympia?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I guess that's
one of the things that Krizo said that's one of the things he's concentrating on after he had his shoulder surgery was specifically his posing. Now, whether or not that's going to make a massive improvement in his physique, between that and the shoulder surgeries, probably not going to hurt. But, for Keon, when it comes to Keon versus Krizo, I would definitely think that Keon is going to beat him. Keon has the superior physique when it comes to balance, when it comes to shape, when it comes to symmetry, when it comes to proportions. And although Krizo does show up with conditioning, I think Keon will easily compare with him when it comes to conditioning, and he's going to be much better from the back. Although Krizo has improved his back, I mean, Keon's got one of the best backs that you'll find in bodybuilding, really. So, yeah, whether or not he could actually win the Olympia someday, I want to see Keon compared with some of the top guys out there. I'd like to see some of the top guys from the Olympia go on to do Prague again, which is becoming a very, very competitive show post-Olympia. Let's see him stand next to some of the top guys, and then we'll know how long it may take him to start getting into that upper echelon in the Open.
I want to see Andrew Jack doing that Prague show.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't he?
That's my next one. I'll get it right. You'll see.
How much bigger does Keon need to be before you think he has a chance to become Mr. Olympia?
3 pounds.
3 pounds. Okay, fair enough.
Even 3 to 5 pounds on his frame, but with him, just the conditioning. If he come in with Hardy's conditioning just like that, he'd be winning. So,
yeah, and I mean,
yeah,
the condition. What would you rate his condition when he won the last Olympia?
It's pretty good, man.
He was good, but it's similar to, because he's got such the great shape and the muscle belly. So it's like back in the day with Flex. Flex could come in 95% and still win, 90% some shows and still win, because the proportions and the symmetry were so perfect that it didn't really matter that he wasn't totally on. So,
but remember that show where Flex in Asia won against Hadi and everyone was outraged?
Korea. Yeah. Was it Korea or Japan?
Korea.
Yeah.
So, but I think Keon was kind of like 97% or so. He was really, really good. I mean, he can be better, but his conditioning, he's never been that good.
When I said Flex, I meant Flex Wheeler, when Flex Wheeler used to compete,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a pretty
okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you meant Flex Lewis.
Yeah, now Flex Wheeler, it's a pretty shape. He'd sometimes come in with that film or water, but he'd still win. Chris would come in a bit harder and Cormier would get pissed off because, Flex, Chris had great symmetry too, but Flex just looked that little bit rounder with the muscle bellies, and Chris would come in with cross gyrations. Flex would come with a little bit of water. Chris is like, how the fuck did he beat me?
I want to point out that this backdrop at Olympia was, I don't want to say it was racist, but it was horrible. It was terrible for the guys.
It was awful.
If the darker your skin was, the worse you looked on that stage, because it just blended in. It's just like that Tokyo backdrop for the Masters Olympia was like orange. Everybody blended into that damn thing.
They have to put on sunscreen so they get whiter.
Yeah, but I mean, a few people have said, I think Lee Haney said, this is the best physique in the world right now. I don't know if Sean, do you guys agree with that? Is this the best physique in the world, Keon Pearson?
I'd say to one of the less flaws, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's up there.
So I believe he was 200 or 205 at this Olympia that he won. Does that sound right to you guys? Nobody knows?
He can't be, I don't think he's pushing the 212 limit, though.
I don't think he was. I think he still had
he got some room to play with in that class.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was only about 205 at that win, and he looks like he's added muscle since then, because I don't remember him looking like this last year in the offseason.
That's a big 205. That's a very big 205.
He's short.
And the thing is, when you're shorter like that with the proportions, the size, a couple of pounds doesn't matter. The conditioning is what matters, because we all know it's an illusion up there. When, I've said it before, when I won that San Francisco, Chris was second at 260. People thought I was 230. I was 199 pounds. So, the tighter you get, your joints look smaller, and having round bellies like Keon does, the muscles are going to jump out more. It's like Clarita when he's in condition. You wouldn't think he's in the 180s. It's just the illusion. So that's where people always get obsessed by the weight, when if you sometimes lose an extra couple of pounds, say you lost an extra 2 pounds to come in shredded, you look 10 pounds bigger on stage under the lights.
Lee, was that the same season that Ronnie Coleman almost retired because you beat him?
No, that was a bit after that. No, that was 97. I think when I beat Ronnie. In all up that year in the European shows was 7 shows, and then Ronnie started winning in Russia. Then he went on to the Olympia the following year. So yeah, that's why people should never give up. See, never give up, because if Ronnie was around back then, now for the social media, when Ronnie started competing, I probably would have said, "Oh, give up, Ronnie. Come on, you're not going to do it. Don't go on, Ronnie. Give up, give up." Then all of a sudden, boom.
Ronnie would have known about steroids in an instant back then, though.
Did he actually claim he didn't know that they existed, or he must have known that guys were on steroids? He just was choosing not to use them for a while.
I'm sure Ronnie read the magazines. We all knew, but I just don't think he was. Well, it's probably like me in the beginning. I knew about him. I never talked about him. I wasn't interested in him back. When I started, I was just excited to fucking train heavy and eat like a pig and just lift heavy weights. The steroids to me were like, yeah, okay, I know they're in there, but it wasn't my focus or anything. So.
You were 12 years old at the time, too, though. No, you're not even kidding. You were competing at 13, right?
And my first I won 3 bodybuilding shows when I was 13, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. I would hope you
Mom,
steroids,
why did you give me a golf club or a tennis racket, you bitch?
No, I think you found the right sport for you.
Oh,
so, yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I obviously Keon's not going to qualify for the Open this year, and he's got one more year to go as a 212. But do you guys all agree? You think this will be his last year? I think this is probably it for him as the 212.
He'll qualify for the Open if he wins the Prague one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And I mean,
and like I said, even if he does that, I know it's not a long time, depending on his mindset. If he wants to just wait for Olympia, but if he put his name down to get invited to the Arnold, he'll be getting invited to the Arnold because, that'll be a good draw card, the excitement and the money there. I couldn't see why he wouldn't do the Arnold if he's going to start going to the Open. Why not start off at the Arnold Classic?
They will ask certain people, and then other people have to apply. I think he's somebody they would ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. They already asked Urs already.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. They'd be silly not to. Why wouldn't you? I mean,
yeah.
The Arnold
going to fill the house.
And the Arnold they cap it. It's 15 guys max.
Yeah.
That they have.
Imagine if he does qualify for next year's Olympia, and let's just say the Arnold comes next year, and after this year's Olympia, Jake will up the Olympia money this year for sure, and Arnold might announce he's up in the Arnold again next year. So imagine if Keon does throw his hat in the ring, and then whoever wins the Olympia, and maybe a couple of others decide to do the Arnold again. So we might have Keon on the Arnold stage against the current Mr. Olympia before the Olympia comes around.
If he gets a second at the Arnolds, he wins like 4 times the amount.
Yeah.
And when he wins the 212.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to test yourself against the best in the world. I mean, you're the best 212 is granted, but you want to see how you can do it against the real guys, the Open guys. That's what it's about.
I couldn't see him not being out of the top 3 if he did the Arnold Classic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you think we might see everybody at the Arnold next time? Because the money's $650, right?
It's a lot of money.
I think the guys too, seeing Derek do it this year, seeing Sampson and guys like that, they've done it and they're doing the Olympia. So I'm actually glad to see, because a lot of guys in our day would do a lot of shows, but then it got into the period where a lot of guys were like, I only want to do one show. I can't peak this, peak that. But they're actually proven you can peak more and do more shows. So hopefully now with the money enticing them, we're going to see more coming out, which makes it great for the fans. It makes it great for the promoters. The Olympia is great now because Sampson's Mr. Olympia. Derek beat him, so now going to the Olympia. It's up in the air there. Who's going to win? Derek, Hardy, Sampson, or maybe a Nick can fly out of the woodwork somewhere and blow them all away. So, yes, I think the Arnold next year is going to be probably similar to the Olympia lineup, no doubt.
The last question I want to ask, and I want everyone to answer this. What do you think the prize money, when that check flips around for Sampson or Nick or whoever, it was $500 last year. No, it was $650 last year, right?
600.
And then the Arnold said they're going to do $750 at the Arnold in March.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to do $750 for the Olympia this year. What do you guys think it'll be?
I'd say
they save it.
How much?
I think they won't.
I'd say 750 or 8. But that's where Arnold fucked up by saying what he's going to have next year. Arnold should have waited till the Olympia, because we know Arnold, he has a competitive spirit in everything, bodybuilding, when he was in politics, when he was in the movies with Van Damme and Stallone and everybody else. They all had their things going there. So Arnold likes to be number one and everything. So I think whoever's going to hit the million first, I'd say I'd be very surprised if it wasn't Arnold. So if Jake goes to 750, 800, Arnold will make $1 million first.
I think they won't do it this year. I think they might do it next year because they can save on some money for less competitors, and then they have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
It would be
I
a
think
big
so too.
SU to the Manians if Arnold did $1 million in March. Like that would just say screw you. It would be a big screw you to them. So I mean, I can see it. It would draw a lot of attention to the entire world. $1 million is a lot of money. Like Lee Haney made $55,000 in '88. So up $1 million for winning a bodybuilding contest. That's some crazy shit, man. So I can see Arnold doing some shit like that just to kind of say.
The good thing is, if he does do it next year and makes it $1 million, Jake Wood isn't going to go over that. But if Jake Wood matched that, imagine that. You've got 2 shows now in bodybuilding, $1 million each. So guys will be competing a lot more. And then who knows, even Dubai and those places, they got the money, so they'll be up in theirs again also.
It's a good
How
time to be an open
come
bodybuilder.
Jake Wood made that much money, actually? What is he doing?
I mean, that's a good question because people think the Olympia has unlimited resources. Jake's got a lot of money. The Olympia makes good money, but it's also extremely expensive to put the Olympia on.
Yeah.
The production value.
See, to me, the Olympia still should be. I know he'd have to cut back on who. I know, like next year they're going to do it different, so there's not as many competitors. But you're going to have to maybe just cut back on. You know, you can't pay everyone's airfare, everyone's hotel. Maybe hotels, not airfares, or you have to work something out there depending on the amount of people you're bringing. So you could cut back there and stuff. But you know, hopefully, you know, you make a bigger prize money. You know, everywhere you go, if there's prize money, if the sport's got more money, sponsors are drawn to it. If you're just giving out $20,000 first place, sponsors are like, okay, whatever. So, you know, sadly, more prize money brings more eyes, brings in bigger sponsors. So if they up the prize money, hopefully more sponsors will get on board. And I hope sponsors outside of just protein companies and stuff like that start thinking outside the box. Go after Ford, Mustang, Chevy cars. Have Urs doing a fucking Chevy commercial, American Muscle, shit like that. It's like you got to think outside the box. Start hitting on companies. That's why I've always wondered why Red Bull's never got involved. Yeah, we can say steroids, but steroids are in every sport. Yeah. Red Bull sponsors dickheads flying off piers, seeing how far they can fly. Red Bull sponsors every crazy sport. Red Bull sponsors the World Championship of rock, paper, scissors. So come on.
That's true.
Yeah, they could start thinking about going, you know,
Yeah.
Well, look at companies like Nike, you know, Nike, Under Armour, you know, companies like this. I think that they would probably be more open to looking at bodybuilding, especially at the Olympia level these days, than they would have back years ago when obviously, you know, anybody that even mentioned the word steroid, they would run for the hills, right? I don't think it's like that anymore because there's been so many different, you know, scandals that have gone through professional sports. Everybody knows that it's there now, right? Not that they don't want to necessarily associate themselves with it entirely, but to have a presence there, I mean, look, even a fraction of the budgets that companies like Nike, Under Armour have, things like that, right? Compared to some of these other companies that exist, I mean, you're talking a substantial amount of money for a very minimal investment from a company like that. So if they could have any type of involvement, that could substantially increase the prize money. I think that coupled with the fact that unless you make the top 16, some people argue the top 10, your expenses are on you when it comes to going to the Olympia. Otherwise, I mean, even just those two things right there.
Look at Bumstead's reach. You know, he's just as popular as some of these other professional sports. Imagine if Nike or Reebok brought out a Bumstead style shoe, that would fucking sell out. So, you know, there is marketing to be had for different people.
Do they even have a marketing team to do that? Like that takes a team of marketers to actually go out to businesses and have a plan.
Oh yeah, yeah, they have people. Yeah,
you would need somebody like a Jerry Maguire type guy who's going to doors, kicking doors down. Yeah, you might go to 10,000, get 8,000 no's, but if you can get a couple in, hey, that's something. But you're going to need someone who's just got that grit, who doesn't take no for an answer and just going to go to any type of sponsor you can get. You know.
Didn't Monster sponsor like Flex Lewis in the Olympia?
Yeah, they did.
They still do. I think they still do.
Hey, Leo, you just dropped some breaking news here. Well, I subscribed to the Overcome podcast. That's a given. But when you say how he got in, you mean he's here in the U.S. right now?
He got his visa.
Oh, he got his visa. Okay, well, all you Iranians out there, sell it. It's a happy day or night or whatever time it is.
Can we have a ceasefire while his plane leaves the country?
Please.
Are they at war with Israel? Is that the
Everybody.
Everybody's at war with Israel.
Everybody.
Didn't Poland just shoot down some Russian missiles?
Yeah.
They just bombed
going
Qatar.
down.
Yeah, we're just going to stay inside the house from now on and just smoke weed.
Well, congratulations, Hadi. Now, to Beirut, I just don't see it. And I've heard he was in the military as a younger guy, and that's why he's never getting into the USA, because he was a member of the armed forces of.
Maybe he should do Prague. That'd be a good show for him. If he can't get in, do Prague.
I mean, he should do every show that's outside the U.S., I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That he can.
Yeah.
I don't see him ever getting into the United States.
Get on the ship.
He could turn up in Prague.
Get on a boat.
Yeah, I mean, he's phenomenal. Bob Chick, that'd be a good panelist if he's allowed to. I think Bob's allowed to go on other channels. I'm not sure.
Yeah, sure he is. He was on my channel.
It was on your
Yeah,
channel?
I've had him on mine.
Because I mean, I know some of the guys that work for Jake, they're not supposed to do any podcasts with non-Olympia TV or Jake Wood owned channels. I don't know what his deal is, but he'd be a good panelist. I guess that's the final question. Do you guys really care that he's the MC? Are you like up in arms saying he needs to be fired?
No.
I like his voice. It's epic.
Come on, man.
You're new.
Trying to get someone fired over their opinion on what they say.
I mean, he does a good job, man. And he's not like I don't know, once or twice he might have said it in a little condescending way, but usually he doesn't say, "Oh, this guy looks like shit," or "He looks like crap." Like he's just like, well, he has a bigger midsection or whatever, or I don't think he's as aesthetic. He's not like personally attacking people. When he does that, I agree that's not cool.
Yeah.
Firing him for that, I don't know. It just also it gives excitement. If no one criticizes like that, you know, Bob gives us all like things to talk about. Nick could sell a bunch of shirts, you know, and you know, I mean, they shouldn't whine about it. I would love him to talk shit about me. I made it. If he starts talking shit about me, I'm like, nice. Hell yeah.
Nick Walker made a t-shirt about it and sold a bunch of them.
Bob should get up there like Don Rickles and just fucking roast everyone when they come out.
Yeah.
Lee, these kids have no idea who Don Rickles was. Google him, guys.
They're just so soft now, Ron. People are just so sensitive to shit, and it's fucking Bob. Like it's just Bob.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, just keep scrolling or just turn the channel.
Long enough, we all know how he is. It's just
it's Bob.
Don't take it so personal, people. Jesus.
Look,
I mean,
he's the best one.
It's a conflict of interest because he's the MC and he shouldn't be criticizing. But what's he supposed to do? Just MC shows and nothing else?
Yeah, but he doesn't criticize them when they come in. He doesn't go, and here comes Nick Walker. He's going to get 8th place today. He's looking a bit smooth. His waist is sticking out. Too bad you missed your peak, Nick. He's not doing it while he's at the mic. He's professional at the mic. He does a professional job. But on his podcast, he's allowed to have an opinion. He's been in the sport long enough, 40 years plus. So why can't he have an opinion like anyone else?
And it's just an opinion. It's not. It's just an opinion. We all have one. It's cool. Relax, people.
NASCAR jacket.
No, Bob is the best one for the job when it comes to the Olympia. Okay, I mean he does a fantastic job being the MC for the Olympia. The guy can have his opinion, and look, I'm glad that he would even decide to come on a show like mine and answer literally every single question that I have in extreme detail. Okay, he's not. If there's anything that needs to be cleared up when it comes to any interpretation, when as many people say that he's accompanying him with the IFBB and all that other fun stuff. Look, the fact of the matter is, you got questions, he's going to give you answers, and he's not going to sugarcoat it for you, okay?
Exactly.
We need people like that.
And if Bob needs a NASCAR jacket, I have lots of racing jackets and shirts from I used to race. Bob, just come see me. I'll fix you.
They probably would have to be tailored a little bit, I'm guessing. Bob's about.
I'll put a few sparklies and crystals on it for him. So.
Oh man.
Well, if not, Sadiq Faruqi is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He is.
Absolutely.
I want to say that
He'd be great too.
I love the guy.
Sid's got a beautiful voice. I mean, it's like a perfect announcer voice, like you'd hear in like a voiceover on a commercial or anything like that.
So professional.
The only reason I like Bob better is just he has a little more personality, a little more. He just brings a little more excitement to the job.
For us old timers, let's bring back Lonnie Tepper for one.
Lonnie was great. Lonnie was great. Yeah, Lonnie. For those who never had the privilege of seeing Lonnie MC a show, Lonnie had like nicknames for everybody. He had little jokes about everybody, and he would really study, so he knew exactly what to say about every single person. Yeah,
he always give you a funny remark as you're walking off. He'd have something funny to say or something. So he was always pretty good.
Kenson, Davey Mize from Bio Muscle saying he likes your shirt, which is a Bio Muscle shirt. Okay.
Yeah. I really like working with Davey. A client of yours actually making wicked progress.
Lee, here's one from Oz. Keep speaking the truth. Make Australia great again. Yeah, I didn't know Australia was going to hell too. There, apparently your country sucks now too.
Yeah, like the UK. Yeah, so like pretty much every government. You know, the countries are great, the people are generally good, but the governments suck. And when you got a shitty government, you got shitty media, and between the government and the media, they just divide the people over stupid fucking shit. We're talking about bodybuilders getting upset over what people say. You ever seen the media, the way they spin shit, whether it be race, religion, and that? Next thing you know, you're fighting with your neighbour who you're friends with just because the media tell you that you can't be friends with someone. So people, stop watching the fucking news and getting upset with you. People. We have more in common than we do differences, people, but yet we're fighting over the dumbest shit.
Is it like in Germany where if as a foreigner you can stab people and you get like no bail, you get out? If you tweet about it, then you go to jail?
Yeah, well, actually, we just passed a new law today now. I was on the thing, I was reading it, similar to England, where if you cause hate, and the hate, say if I'm out in public and I start saying something and what I'm saying causes hate, then people get upset and want to fight about it. It's a law now. I can go to jail for that if I incite violence from hatred or something I'm saying. And I said, well, who judges that? What I say, who's going to judge if it's hateful speech? Okay, if I'm yelling at someone and calling them and saying, come here, I want to kill you, that's different. But if I'm just saying something and goes, oh, like, you know, people go, that offends me. Because here is like UK, there's been some places where someone has the Australian flag and someone down the road's offended. Oh, we need you to remove that flag. They're getting upset down the road. So they're in Australia. You come to this country for the freedoms and what we have to offer. Don't shit on the flag of the country that's given you a safe passage and a place to live, for God's sakes. And you'll come and burn our flag, but you're waving the flag of the shit place you just left in fear of your life. I don't know. Someone explain that to me. You want to wave the flag of the place you left because they wanted to kill you, but you're going to come here and burn the flag of the place that's opened its doors for you and given you everything. So it's ridiculous.
Now, Xavier Wills is going through some shit over there with his ex. Yes. So I want to wish him good luck that she actually gets sentenced to prison. This is the 5th time they've had her in front of a judge for sentencing. I don't know what the hell is taking so long. But Xavier, we're all behind you. I hope she goes to jail and rots there for a while, and I hope you get your kids back. We wish you nothing but the best, Xavier.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think it's safer to be a criminal or bad person these days. You seem to have more rights than the victims. So you might as well just go out and commit crimes and you get let out.
Yeah, you get sympathy when you commit the crime.
Yeah.
The dead person
mental problems. I got mental problems. No,
we don't know what that guy was going through. The guy that stabbed
wasn't his fault. Society made him do it.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's their fault.
Liberal Democrats. Here we go. We're going to stop. No, we won't do that. I won't do that here. But all right, guys, we've been going for almost an hour.
Politics. That gets them going.
So I want to thank all of my panelists today: Big Mike Cox, Leo Mayrhofer, Kenson Jardine, aka EP019, and of course, oh wait a minute, EP, did I spell your name wrong on all these things? Is it?
Maybe.
I thought it was 19. It's 09?
0.
Yeah, it's 09, Ron.
Oh, I fucked up bad. My apologies, dude.
What's that stand for?
Uh-oh.
Let me tell you how we got that name. I actually asked the other day.
Yeah. No, I was on Lee's podcast. He asked me that. So EP09 was it was a place I was living back in 2009 in called Eastern Passage, where I had absolutely no responsibilities except to eat, sleep, train, and it's the one time in my life where I could live the bodybuilding lifestyle, and it was a very special time for me.
Ah, okay.
That's awesome.
It's a sappy story. Okay, I thought there was going to be
Hey,
a comic twist to it. Okay.
Look, Ron, I can start breaking out diving stories for you. You know, near explosions underwater and shit like that if you want, man.
I'm not a fan of scuba diving. I've done it twice, and I thought my head was going to explode. I felt like I couldn't breathe, and just not for me. But God bless you guys who enjoy it.
that's because your wife was pinching your air hose.
And it's never been in the U.S. It's always in some godforsaken Caribbean place where if I died, nobody would ever find me. But anyway, I want to thank the panel going around. Big Mike Cox, he's going to be here every Wednesday night. I don't know who else is going to be here every Wednesday night. It's up to you guys if you had a good time. Of course, you're all welcome back, but no pressure. You know, you're all legendary. So thank you, Leo. Check out his channel, Overcome Podcast. You saw he's a breaking news kind of guy. Oh, wait, hold on. We got one last question. It's for Leo.
Oh,
Your next competition plans.
Steve Card Classic in Las Vegas, November 8th is the plan.
Okay.
And maybe the week after there's Fort Lauderdale or something. And as we're both with BlackstoneLabs.com
Okay. Awesome.
/Leo. Yeah, I think that's pretty close to PJ, so maybe I'll do that one too.
Okay, fair enough. What? He's trans? What? He opens. Oh, this is a bad joke. Open bodybuilding, just men's physique. Haha. Anyway, so thank you, Kenson from EPzeronine. No, I think I did have it right now that I'm looking at it.
I'm looking at it.
I think you did.
Okay, good. Thank you, Lee. And of course, last but definitely not least, the legendary blonde myth, Lee Priest. Appreciate you waking up. Well, you wake up at 3 a.m, so I didn't make you get up early for this. It's what time is it there now?
10:30. I've been up since 3 a.m, but it's 10:30. I actually had to wait around for this because can you do the show at 3:30 in the morning next time? So
Okay. Did I eat into your gym time? Is this the time you would have been normally at the gym?
no, I was at the gym. I got up at 3 a.m. I was at the gym at 5 a.m.
Ooh, that's awful.
I've done housework. I've done laundry. Come on, look, my day's almost over, and it's not even.
That's
lunch.
great. When you're in Vegas, Lee, I'm a morning trainer too, so that's nice.
Oh yeah. Okay. We'll hit the gym at 5 a.m.
Yeah, we're 6.
All right, well,
I'll go and warm up. I'll go and warm up and wait for you.
all right, I want to encourage all the viewers who I thank for watching. Drop some comments about anything we discussed today, any topics that you want to see discussed on the next episode. And I think for first episode, it didn't go too badly. Nobody said anything too controversial. It's going to get us thrown off of YouTube, as I expected, Lee.
No cunts from Lee.
What?
Just one cunt from Lee.
I didn't even hear him say cunt once.
Yeah,
Jeez.
the first sentence.
Well,
I did once.
fuck off, you bunch of cunts.
Thank you. There we go. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching the Meathead Podcast. We'll see you right here, same time, same channel next week. Peace out.